Hello, everybody. I was asked to speak earlier this week at a function at my school, and I wanted to give a full version of the speech that I was originally slated to give. Unfortunately, I was not able to give the whole speech because of time constraints, but I was asked to speak, and I felt like this could be an awesome platform, a good platform to be able to get this speech out there and share a little bit about my personal life and what has shaped me to be who I am now. Originally, when I was asked to speak, I thought of various heroes throughout history, such as Harriet Tubman, Malcolm X, even Michael Jordan, or even Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But then I thought about it a little bit more, and I realized that we should bring it a little bit closer to home. Up I-35 North in Waco is the birthplace of a national hero. There's also a school named after this wonderful gentleman. His name is Doris Miller. This gentleman was 20 years old and he enlisted into the Navy. Excuse me. When he enlisted, he was a simple cook. Shortly after enlisting, the attack on Pearl Harbor occurred. His lieutenant, seeing his stature, and it should be noted that he was actually a boxer. He was a pretty big guy. He was asked to assist in moving his injured ship's captain to a safe location. At a time when black sailors, such as Miller, were stationed and had to work below the decks, social norms and social constructs of that time pretty much went out the window. Those things no longer matter because this attack was occurring. This was an emergency situation, and common sense, decency, and goodwill took over. As the attack strengthened, he was then commanded to assist with moving ammunition. But Mr. Miller took it upon himself, without hesitation, to take over one of the starboard machine guns. He shot down some overpassing planes that were bombing the ships. By taking this action, he saved countless lives. Now, you and I, we necessarily don't have to worry about saving countless lives, but there may be someone out there, a classmate, a friend, other people, relatives, someone out there that we could help. Now, it should be noted that I actually grew up in foster care. Being a foster child, I was subjected to some pretty interesting situations that weren't exactly good for children my age. I bounced around from home to home. I lived in a group home. I had some failed placements, a couple adoptive placements which were pretty bad. And there were some harsh, horrible things that happened in some of those places. The typical instinct for a foster kid like myself is to protect yourself and look out for yourself because we feel that nobody else was going to look out for us. However, when I was about 7 years old, one of my foster brothers was being attacked and being beaten by one of our foster parents. And that was a pretty defining moment for me. I didn't have to ask for permission to do the right thing or take action. I simply stepped in between the attacker in attempts to protect my foster brother. As I got older, I realized that helping people and speaking up for the voiceless was something I wanted to devote my life to. I saw that education was my opportunity to do so. And so as a teacher, I've encountered some pretty awesome kids on an everyday basis. And as a Child Protective Services caseworker, CPS, I was able to get some kids out of some pretty rough places. So my message is simple. Like Doris Miller, he did not let his circumstances dictate who he was going to be. He took action and did the right thing without hesitating. And we, without have to realize that in some cases we have to act and think quickly, and we don't necessarily always have to ask for permission. Be the hero to someone that needs it. I didn't let circumstances dictate my life, and I realized that education would help me. So do not be defined by your circumstances either, and be the hero for someone who possibly does not have a voice.